Good afternoon, students. Now we are just through with the June examination process, and again gearing up with the September examination, foundation examination process. So those students who are appearing fresh for September examination for the first time, or those who could not clear in the previous attempts, learning from the past errors is very important to succeed in any examinations. So is the paper business economics. Now, the point is the paper business economics, paper number 4 at foundation level, is a objective type paper consisting of 100 questions covering across the 10 units that is there in your syllabus. Now, the purpose of introducing business economics at the foundation level is to help the student in understanding the concept and theories of economics, and to acquire the ability to address application-oriented issues. Because today life also we are dealing with practical situations where concepts of economics or understanding of economics will be helpful for everybody, not only student. As a human being, it is very important to have the understanding of the subject economics. Now, in the new scheme that was implemented on 1st July 2023, obviously the paper earlier was of 60 marks that had increased to 100 marks, means more weightage is been assigned to the paper number 4. Because initially we were talking about microeconomics, now we have introduced macroeconomics, public finance, international trades, etc., etc. Now, Indian economy is also been added. So basically, the objective of this paper is to have a basic understanding of both micro and macro concept, because micro is for individuals, entity, and macro is for the economy as an aggregate as a whole. So ultimately, if you are talking about a country as a whole, the important indicators, that is macroeconomic indicators, are very useful for understanding the concepts. Now, the term economics is origin from Greek word called oikonomia, which means household. Basically, the economics was as a discipline, or economics as a concept was coming from Guptas to Mauryas to all ancient times only. But Adam Smith books, The Wealth of Nation, published in 1976, is considered to be the first modern book of economics. And ultimately that created interest in a discipline called economics. Ultimately, the basic use of economics is the resources are scarce and demands are unlimited. So how to maximize these scarce resources to gain maximum advantage out of it, and to satisfy people of the needs they are having. So economics is basically how to use the economic relatively scarce resources for, because ultimately there are competing ends, because different people wants different things at the same time. So how to manage between competing ends, because resources are not uh, uh, available for everybody. So ultimately one had to make the adjustment, means you have to rationalize to give the maximum advantage. Now the second thing is, what is the section wise uh, division of the paper, and what is the weightage that is assigned to the paper. Now section paper 4 business economics consists of 100 marks paper. So the first unit, that is introduction to business economics, which is assigned a weightage of 5%. And here we are basically introducing the subject business economics. What is the distinction between economics and business economics? What are the types of economy, the capitalist, socialist, and the mixed economy? What are the important characteristics of each economic system? What are the disadvantages? So all these things is covered in the first unit, that is introduction to business economics. Generally in the examinations, question is been asked regarding, like, 4 options is been given of the advantage of capitalist economy, out of which one is incorrect. Now you have to identify the correct ones, or 2 is incorrect. You have to identify uh, the correct ones based on the combination of options that has been given to you. So you need to be have a clear understanding of the different economic system, that is capitalist, socialist, and mixed economy, and the distinctions between the distinction between economics and business economics. So that has to be clear, and the distinction between positive and normative economics, which has been very well explained in the first chapter of your study material. And one thing I like to bring to your notice, that the study material of Board of Studies is sufficient to get maximum marks in the examination that is conducted by ICAI in economics, business economics paper. So you don't have to worry for maximum number of books and all. If you read our study material twice, thrice, you get a feel of the concepts. At the end of each chapter, there is a summary of the chapter, which is important for the students to last minute brushing of the subjects. And there are questions also which is available at the end of each chapter, so which is related to the concepts. So ultimately the objective of each chapter is to give you a basic understanding of the subject, give you the basic summary which is important at the time of examination, and questions for practice, which again the same type, the objective type of questions that has been asked in the examination. So this is about the first chapter. So all the chapters that is in your syllabus is important, so you don't have to neglect any chapters. 1 or 2 questions will make that difference. So all questions are of equal number. So you don't have to judge between which is important or which is not important. So from the very beginning, concentrate on all the chapters equally. Now, the second unit is the theory of demand and supply, where the concept of demand and supply is introduced. What is the law of demand? What is the law of supply? The elasticity concepts is introduced. What is inelastic? What is elastic? That is explained. What are the what is luxury? What is necessities? What will be the elasticity? Complements good, supplementary goods. These types of distinction is very much elaborated, and basically demand and supply is the backbone of economics, because ultimately all the theories evolve around demand and supply only. So basic understanding of demand concept is important, which has been very much easily elaborated in your course module. So and apart from this, recently we had just concluded the live virtual classes, which is being conducted for the students at the for September 24 examinations. So all the concepts is being discussed in detail in our live classes also. Recently, we had just completed the first mock test series. So accordingly, the students will have the first-hand feel of examinations, how the question is being asked, and ultimately, if it will also give them the feel-good factor also, because if all the concepts they know, if they revised well in advance, so definitely they will able to solve the questions all the four papers that is there at the foundation level. So you had to devote equal attention to all the papers, because ultimately if you pass in one paper or two paper, and if you don't get the aggregate, so definitely it won't be helping you much. So all the papers are important. So you have to devise your timetable in such a way that you give maximum time to all the papers out of your study schedule that you have prepared, because there is no unique study time schedule. It depends from person to person, students to student, and also it also depends upon how much hard work one is giving in the preparation stage, and finally at the time of examinations also. So these are simple things, but that counts a lot, because ultimately through your whole preparation process, how consistent you are, which is very important. Because if you study for 2 days regularly and you again for 3 days you don't study, now all the momentum that you gain in the first 2 days will be not be helpful at the end, because consistency is very important. Now this chapter unit 2 is having a weightage of 10%. So generally in this unit the question is asked about the shape of the curve, the different elasticity, what are the characteristics of income elasticity, price elasticity. Some numerical questions has been given to calculate cross elasticity or income elasticity. So a simple formula, but the thing is you need to understand and remember the formulas also, because generally in the questions there's not particularly in the numerical part, there's not much calculation involved, because your duration of paper is 2 hours only. So but generally if you know the formula correctly, you'll get the answer correct. So try to remember the formulas and what are the unknowns that you need to calculate, because there might be number of known that has been given in the questions and you have to calculate the unknown. So you from the very beginning you should also focus on your calculation ability, because few questions definitely will be asked on the numerical part also, because where you'll be given the data and you have to calculate the unknown that is available. So clear? Now again here also the introduction to indifference curve, the characteristics of indifference curve, the shape of the indifference curve, why it is convex to the origin, what are the characteristics. Consumer surplus is also there. Questions has been asked that what is consumer surplus, or how to calculate consumer surplus. A situation has been given and you need to identify. And equally important is the supply, or the law of supply, elasticity of supply, market equilibrium, because intersection point is the equilibrium point. So these are in detail covered in unit 2. This is an important unit. Third unit is theory of production and cost. Now, if you have understood demand, supply, now next thing is production and cost. Here, the theory of isocont is there. The different stages of production process. Cobweb theorem is there. And in costs, the short-run cost, the long-run cost, the average revenue, average fixed cost, average variable cost. What is the distinction between this? These are concepts that has been very elaborately and simply that is there in your study module. And mostly these concepts that already the students who have studied economics at 11th and 12th level, mostly they must be familiar with all the basic concepts that is there in the economics paper. So just an added updation on that, because generally it's not that this concept is taken from somewhere and put in your syllabus. This is basically a graduation process that started from your 10th, 12th onwards. So that is why these concepts are there in the your module. Now, the fourth unit is determination of price determination of different markets. This is very important because it also carries a weightage of 15%, because there are different types of market structure, like perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and every market structure is having its unique characteristics. So you need to remember the characteristics, the same demand curve, the cost curve, the equilibrium point, what are the equilibrium conditions, what are the distinct advantage of one market condition, and what are the distinct disadvantages. So a comparative chart is already there in your study material, and I'll also be while going forward, I'll make you understand that different distinctions between the different forms of market. So here also question is been asked of the different type of market structure, perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, and oligopoly. What are the characteristics, how in a particular situation, the situation will be there. You have to identify the market conditions, the product are homogeneous, there is free entry or exit, or whatever the different characteristics of a market situation is there. You need to identify, and you have to answer the question based on based on the facts that has been given in the questions. So it's an important unit. It carries a weight of 15%. Now, Unit 5 is again determination of national income. Is also very important because generally numericals questions is been asked from this unit, because how national income is calculated, what is GDP, what is GNP, what is GDP at factor cost, what is GDP at market price, what is depreciation, what is personal income, what is personal disposable income, what is private income, how the national income is calculated by 3 different methods: product method, income method, and expenditure methods. So these are all simple concepts, but in a general parlance, you must be hearing the concept of gross domestic product or gross national product or net factor income from abroad, export, import, all other things that you must be hearing about. So generally this chapter elaborate in detail the concept of national income, how national income is calculated by different methods, and the different concept that I had just told. Now here also the introduction to determination of national income by 2-sector model, 3-sector model, 4-sector model, the distinction between the classical and the Keynesian model, although it's not elaborate at the foundational level, it is not been elaborated in detail, but ultimately how to calculate national income, how to calculate income by different methods is been given in detail. So what are the factors that has been added from one sector to another sector that make it from 2-sector to 3-sector model? What are the different sectors that has been involved in this process? So that is already covered in this unit. It also carries a weightage of 15%. Now again, the 6th unit is business cycle. Now it's important because business cycle determines how the different phases economy is at, or in the peak phase, what are the advantage in the case of declining growth rate, or what are the disadvantages. These are all explained in detail in the business cycle. The 4 phases of business cycle is been elaborated here, because ultimately this chapter 5 and 6 will give you a feel of macroeconomic aggregates, that how macroeconomy works and how changes in any of the indicators will have an impact on that. Then comes the 7th unit, which is again important one, because ultimately it talks about public finance, the different functions, fiscal functions, overview of central and state finance, the allocation functions, the distribution functions, the stabilization functions is being discussed. Then again, the concept of market failure, externalities are there, and how government intervene to correct the market failure. That is also been elaborated in detail, and generally question is being asked. Sometimes a situation is been there, and you have to identify that which type of function will be applicable in that particular situation. So although there'll be straight questions, not very ticklish in nature, but ultimately one need to have the correct understanding of the concept so that he or she can easily distinguish between what functions the question is talking about. So that is important in public finance, because public finance again deals with fiscal policy, taxation, and expenditure. That is also a part of the concepts in public finance. We had also introduced the concept of budget also. What are the sources of revenue, expenditure management, management of public debt, which is again important because economics teaches us that we had to live within our means, because ultimately if you don't live within your means, now definitely you will carry take debt, and again the whole process of servicing of debt, and the if you're not able to pay debt on time, you'll fall into debt trap. So although a brief introduction of the whole budget process, execution and implementation is being done, and so as the revenue and the expenditure, what are the sources and how management of expenditure is public expenditure is important, because ultimately if you don't manage your resources properly, now again you will be at a disadvantaged position, because ultimately the development work that has been going on requires a lot of resources. So ultimately you need to have more thinking about the avenues for revenue generation, and at the same time mismanagement of expenditure need to be curtailed. So again this topic is also important. Then section 8 is talking about the money market. Money market, the concept of demand of money, important theories of cash balance and other theories that is there in the money market that is there. Then cryptocurrency, just introduction is been there, because this new word that has been used in current days. So a brief introduction about that is there, although just a preliminary thing is. The most important thing is fiscal policy is being discussed in detail. What is fiscal policy? What is discretionary fiscal policy? What is contractionary fiscal policy? The different parameters that is being discussed in detail in this unit. So again, on the other concept of M1, M2, M3, M4 is there. The way to calculate M1, M2, M3, and M4, because ultimately money supply is also important. So although there are standard formulas for calculating all the aggregates, and you have to remember that sometimes you have to calculate M2, the different component that add up to M2 is been given, one or two is missing. One is missing, and you need to identify, or sometimes it happens that an additional data is been given in the question paper, and if you know the correct formula, so definitely you will leave that data, because that is not important in calculation of that particular aggregates. So that is why the importance of knowing the correct formula, correct concept is important. Then monetary policy, again, this is important concept, monetary policy, because ultimately the supply of money, the interest rates and bank rates and all other things that has been associated, the cash reserve ratio, quarterly RBI comes with the review of the monetary policy, because ultimately the RBI is having the responsibility of managing the money supply in the system. So accordingly, it changes the different. If need be, it changes the different rates so that the circulation of money is been maintained, supply of money is maintained. Now, again, this unit carries a weight of 10%. Then comes chapter 9. Again, that is talking about international trade, because in this time, we are not living in a closed economy. It is an open economy. So definitely trade is an important medium for exchange. So definitely no country is having absolute advantage of everything. So every country is dependent upon the another. So they had to maintain a good relationship, economic relationship with each other, because ultimately the advantage one carries, one country is having, can be used by the another country, because ultimately the absolute advantage theory, or the current comparative advantage theory, or the new trade theory, all other theory that has been elaborately explained here is gives you a clarity how and why trade is important. There are various instrument, the tariff structure, the tariff, ad valorem tariff, and all that tariffs that has been discussed. Now, negotiation, the World Trade Organizations, the GATT agreement, and all other are part of your module. So that is already elaborated in your so that is there. Then again, the importance of FDI, FII, FPI is there. That is important. Exchange rates is explained. How the determination of exchange rate is been there. That is already been covered. Advantage of FDI, FPI is elaborated there. Now, again, this is a new introduction in your business economics paper. Is that this time concept of Indian economy is introduced, because right from Chanakya's to present time of Chanakya and Nandavans, and till present is the evolution of the whole economic process is important. 1990 onwards, definitely we had this new economic policy, and after that, many changes has been happened. There was privatization, liberalization, and globalization concepts that was introduced. Although a part of that was there earlier also, but 1991 industrial policy has created a benchmark to move forward. Now, the Niti Aayog, the recent addition that has replaced the Planning Commission, is also there in your chapter. The three sectors, the weightage of the three sectors is also there. That contribution in the GDP. So basically, the syllabus as a whole, is an interesting one, and is not a complicated syllabus. If you study with your open mind, then definitely this concept can be easily understand, and easily you can master the concepts. From Board of Studies side, we are trying our best to give the student as much uh, as much that is facilitation from our side. We are trying to do that because ultimately not only this MTP series query sessions, this success in CA exams sessions that is we are doing for all the subjects. Our mobile app is there. Then again, question bank is there for practice. So all efforts is being taken to give the student the maximum benefit. Now, again, briefly, I'll come a little bit of detail about the chapters that is there in your syllabus. Now, I see a few questions from the student. Mostly, all the questions that has been. I'm just coming with the negative marking concepts. Now, the pattern of examinations. The structure of examination is multiple choice questions. All question will be of equal marks. Each question will having 4 choices out of 1, which will be correct. Is there is any negative marking in CA Foundation? There is negative marking only for paper 3 and 4. There will be deduction of 1/4 mark for each wrong or incorrect response. Multiple dark circles will also be treated as wrong response in these 2 papers. So you need to be careful. So yes, negative marking is there in this paper. The duration of the paper is, as I told you earlier, will be 2 hours and 100 questions from 10 units that I had just elaborated upon. So accordingly, the paper is designed, and mostly the weightage that I had discussed in detail and the content that has been discussed in detail is taken care of while framing the questions. And mostly questions are from the study material. The student who master the study material of the studies had a 100% chance of clearing the paper. That is not a problem at all. But ultimately, it's a way how you approach the examination and how you study. That is important, because all efforts will only give you the result if your preparation and your strategy is right. Because ultimately, in the examination, all thing is matters. Now, there's a quote by Walt Disney that the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. Now, ultimately, this is the time for the consolidation of what you have learned, and based on your consolidation effort, your performance will be there in the examination, because this is the foundation level is the stepping stone in your CA journey, because ultimately this is the first step. And after that, if you clear your foundation, then definitely you'll move ahead at the intermediate and the final examinations. So it's important, because it's stepping into the CA course curriculum. So prepare it seriously, and if you prepare well, there's nobody who can deny you that you won't clear the examination. This but there is no shortcut. Definitely, you need to study hard, because ultimately we can give guidance, we can give your clarity, but ultimately it is you who have to study, because ultimately your efforts is individual efforts that is important, particularly at the examination hall, because you had to uh, be clear of the concepts, so that easily you can use the stipulated time and this clear your papers. Now it's a scoring paper. Economics is a scoring paper, and generally, definitely, it also increase your thinking ability, particularly to interrelate what is happening around you. Macroeconomic concepts are introduced to make you aware of that. That is the biggest advantage of that, because in day-to-day parlance, and after you have becoming a chartered accountants, all the strategy and all other things, one way or the other, is related with economics. Your macro parameters or fundamentals that has been prevailing in the country. So initially, what I told you, that human wants are unlimited and resources are scarce. So ultimately, it's basically how to process the relatively how to relatively scarce resources and to allocate it to satisfy the competing unlimited wants of human being in the society. That is economics, that already had discussed. Micro and macro, two major distinction is been there, although there are other parts of economics, but that is right now in detailing at this point of time, that is not important. Already I had discussed about microeconomics, macroeconomics, and ultimately the advantage of business economics, that as a subject that you are studying at this foundation level, is basically the integration of economic theories with business practices, which is important. Now student is having a few questions that has been there itself. Now for consistency, now definitely you need to study all the subjects every day. You according to your study routine, you can prepare your timetable. Don't neglect any subject, because all subjects are important, because all passing in all subjects is important, because and the aggregate is also important. So negative one subject will not help you. If we start now, then we can clear. Definitely still more than around a month is there. So even you start now, you can clear, but ultimately how you design your strategy, because ultimately the course material you need to study in detail, because that is the only thing which is very important, because conceptual clarity and your thinking ability and your analytical ability is important. Questions there, the MTP series that we are conducting, there are question bank, there are question practice questions that has been available in our BoS portal. That is an important source. Right now, in internet days, a time of internet, many practice papers are there, but right now I cannot suggest because right now this is the time for consolidation. So instead of moving too far or to too many sources, it is easy to consolidate on what is available and what is prescribed by by the ICAI, which is an important source for all the detailing of all the information that is required in a particular subject. Then again, scarcity point I had already discussed. Initially, in the beginning, I had talked about the capitalist economy, the socialist economy, the mixed economy, the different distinctions, the important characteristic, advantage, disadvantage of this economic system is been asked in the examinations. Demand, already in the deliberation I had discussed, because law of demand is important. What is demand? What is supply? What are the characteristics? What is elasticity? What is equilibrium? What is utility? Law of diminishing marginal utility. If you increase the consumption of a commodity, so every successive unit of a commodity will give you lesser and lesser satisfaction to the consumer. So this concept is also important. Consumer surplus, I had already talked about, that is there in the syllabus, that what a consumer is willing to pay and what he actually paid, the difference between that is consumer surplus. So that is also an important concept in supply, that already I told you that supply is equally important so as demand, because ultimately the equilibrium is basically the interaction point of supply and demand. Then production. If production is basically is the outcome of the four factors, that is land, labor, capital, and organization. Creation of utility, because that in simple terms, production means creation of utility. And land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, that is the components of factors of production that is important. That is already there. When cost, I had already talked about, because ultimately anything that you are producing carries a cost, and ultimately the financial aspect of production is basically taking into account the cost also, because anything that giving you negative return, that is not advisable for anybody to produce, because ultimately that had to cover the cost also. Then only you can earn profit. So short-run cost, long-run cost, law of variable proportion, where one factor is constant. That concept is there in your study module. That is important. Now, I had in the beginning, I had told you that that market structure that carries a weightage of 15%. That is important. Now, the basic distinctions between the different market structure is like number of firms. Now, in perfect competition, there will be large number of firms, while in monopoly, there can be only one firm. In monopolistic competition, there can be large number of firms, but in oligopoly, there will be few firms. So the number here, the distinctions between the market structure is there. That is, you can if large number of firms will be there, then definitely it will be a case for monopolistic competition or perfect competition. Again, in case of perfect competition, the product nature of the product will be homogeneous, but in case of monopolistic competition, it will be a differentiated product, because ultimately selling and all of the cost comes into the picture. So you have a choice, but in case of perfect competition, you don't have any choice. Then elasticity, in case of perfect competition, is infinite. In case of monopoly, is small. In case of monopolistic competition, it is large. In case of oligopoly, again, it is important. And the most important thing is the degree of control of price. In perfect competition, there's no control over the prices. In case of monopoly, then definitely you are the only firm that has been in the market. So accordingly, your say will prevail. So the degree of control over the prices will be very considerable. Then in monopolistic, there is some few degree of control, and so as oligopoly, because ultimately the few firms are there. So this is the major distinctions between the 4 different types of market structure. So again, study this market structure carefully, because in your examination, although it carries a weight also, and apart from this, higher weight also, apart from this, questions is generally asked from the market structure. So that is important. Then again, business cycle, that the 4 phases, that is boom, peak, contraction, or expansion, peak, contraction, and trough, or depression. The 4th cycle of business cycle is important, because ultimately it's a major the business cycle or the stage of business cycle. So at what stage the economy is. So again, questions from the examination point of view, questions is been asked on the type of the distinct phases of business cycle, and the different indicators, the leading, lagging, and coincident indicators. What is the major distinctions in your study material? It is very easily explained, and the examples are there. So read it carefully, and in your mind, have a clear distinction between all these indicators, because minor distinctions is there, because generally one most important thing is in objective type of questions is basically your ability to negate the wrong answer. Now, how you can develop this ability to negate the wrong answer is based on your preparation only, because ultimately out of the 4, 1 or 2 is might not be related to that, so that can be easily negated. So ultimately you left with 2 options, and one is the correct one. So in objective type of questions, your ability to negate the wrong one to for finally arriving at the right one is very important, and that only comes with if you are revising your concepts time and again. You're giving your full attention to what you are studying, preparing your short notes, all attempting the mock test series, or the questions that has been given in the our BoS study material, and reading our material quite seriously, that is underlying what are the important concept that has been there itself. Because ultimately, if you do that, there is no chance of you not clearing this examination. So work hard and design your strategy, because ultimately it is you have to clear the examination. So ultimately your strength and is important. Working on your weakness and consolidating your strength will give you an edge in the examination, the whole examination process. Then again, the national income, which is important, because national income is basically the net value of all the economic goods and services produced within the domestic territory of a country in an accounting year, plus the net factor from abroad, because that is important, because we are living in a closed, in an open economy. So that is why if you are having a trading relationship with another countries, the income that you are earning from abroad also comes into picture. So that is important, and that the task of collecting the data of national income is done by the Central Statistical Organization. We used to publish data time yearly on the different aggregates, because ultimately your national income also determine the economic welfare of the people, because ultimately the distinction between developing countries or underdeveloped countries is based on the income that the particular country is generating, and that is basically been passed on to the people who are living in that particular country. So per capita income is also important for quality of life and for betterment of the society. GDP at market price, that is value of output in the domestic territory minus value of intermediate consumption. GDP at market price, GDP, these five important concept that is important, particularly solving your numerical questions. GDP at market price is what? GNP at market price is what? Is GDP at market price plus net factor from income from abroad. So even GDP at market price, GNP at market price, and GDP at market price data has been there, and you are being asked in the examination to calculate net factor income from abroad. So if you know this formula, you can just simply subtract the value that has been there itself, and you can get the data from net factor income from abroad. Now again, the distinction between gross and net is basically the depreciation. So NDP at market price is equal to GDP at market price minus depreciation. So that is how from gross to net or net to gross you can calculate. Then NDP at market price is NNP at market price minus net factor income from abroad, that you had to. There is a question from one Hosnan. Sir, if we learn ICAI module exercise MCQs, we can pass definitely you can pass the examination. That is no question at all. Only thing is the consistency of your effort is important, and how consistent you are. Although most of the students who have been appearing for the September examination might be at the last end of the preparation process, this is the time for revision, and whatever the doubts that one is having, clearing the doubts, because every exams carries your preparation and some sacrifices. So ultimately, this is the time to stay away from all this WhatsApp and all the messages. All this color of pen and all of the thing that already will be given in the whole seat. No need to worry about all this. Then market prices, factor cost plus net indirect taxes is equal to factor cost plus indirect taxes minus subsidies. So these are simple terms that has been given in your module. So revise that. Then again, I had talked about this personal income, personal disposable income, private income. That is important. Few questions. Rabja, how to get maximum marks in economics? Now, ultimately, in the recent examination, the boy has who topped the examination got maximum marks in economics. So ultimately, is basically your effort you have put in and your consistency that is important. How many hours to study for a day? Now it varies from person to person because no standardized study is important for everybody. Everybody has its own strength. So accordingly, you can plan your strategy, but generally at least 2 hours daily you have to give for each subject, at least. You can clear, already I had explained that you can clear even though you start from at this point of time. Regarding grace mark, that is not in our purview. You don't have to think about these things right now. You have to concentrate on learning the concepts and revising the module that has been there. Then methods of calculation, that is production method, income method, expenditure method. The simple formula is there, that value of output minus intermediate consumption. That how is calculated. Then NNP at factor cost, that is also called national income, is compensation of employees. Operating surplus, now operating surplus is again rent plus interest plus profit plus mixed income of self-employed plus net income from abroad. So you had to remember these formulas. Keep writing this formula at one place and revising it time and again. So easily you can memorize that. That is not a problem. Again, from expenditure method, again, you have to add up private final consumption expenditure, government final consumption expenditure, gross domestic capital formation, plus net export. Net export, you have to just remember these formulas and practice some numericals. You have a control of all these things. That is not a big problem. I'm skipping this module because I just want to focus on those part which is I can give you an insight. Although already I had discussed about the 2-sector, 3-sector, 4-sector model that is explained in a 2-sector model. In a 2-sector model, again, the value of consumption is a function, specific consumption function is proposed by Keynes, that is consumption is A plus BY. Then again, a marginal propensity to consume. Then again, government sector is added. Then again, what will be the combination? If export sector is added, then again, in a 4-sector model, what will be the combination? So that is there. Then in public finance, again, I had told you that is important areas, particularly from
Hello.
macro perspective. Yes. Richard Musgrave was has introduced the major taxonomy according 3-branch taxonomy of a role of government, that is how the resource allocation, income distribution, and stabilization function that initially I had discussed in detail. Role of government is also important because there are different conflicting objectives that has been there itself, and to balance between the different objective to get maximum economic benefit is again carries a lot of deliberations and discussions. Then in public finance, market failure concepts is there, market power, externalities, public good, income, complete information. Now market failure is what? Market failure is a situation in which free market fails to allocate resources efficiently, in the sense that either overproduction or underproduction of a particular goods and services, leading to less optimum market outcome. Because ultimately, if a strategy is to be prepared for strategy is to prepare for the to get maximum output. Now ultimately you had to devise in a sense that no wastage is been done, and all the resources that has been available is used to the maximum. There is demand side market failure, because sometimes product has been prepared and there's no matching demand for this. Then again, there is supply side market failure, where demand is there, but there is no matching supply to match up the demand. So there will be a market failure. So the cause of market failure are market power, externalities there, then public goods and incomplete information. Now excess market power, that a single producer or a small number of producer is having all the information. So government has to regulate the market structure. So here, so that every player is at the same stage. So there's no distinct advantage to somebody. Now externalities again is spillover effect, third party effect. When the action of consumer or producer result in cost or benefit do not reflect in the market price, that is externalities basically. Because if like pollution, that is exactly not has been reflected in the market price that is being charged. So these are external factors, but that is also in a way is harming the human being. So ultimately that has to be taken care of in this whole process. Now fiscal policy, that is important, because ultimately how the government is spending, what is the taxation, because ultimately the borrowing depends upon the borrowings, because ultimately the borrowings depends upon if you are having a deficit, because if generally it's ideal that you generate enough sources of revenue and minimize your expenditure. Don't so you don't have to survive on borrowings, because ultimately if you borrow, then definitely you have to service the debt, or you take debt, whether internal or external. Definitely servicing to that definitely is there. Again, the fiscal policy is a demand side policy. Again, if you go into detail of the fiscal policy, there are different factors that influence fiscal policy. There are different types of fiscal policy: fiscal, contractionary, discretionary, and what all that is there. Then comes the money market. Although functions of money is a medium of exchange, is a measure of value, is a store of value, is a basis of credit, is a unit of account, a standard for postponed payment. These are all functions of money. The restatement theory of quantity theory of money. So I'm facing problem in public finance. Please advise. Now, Kunal, public finance is a very interesting part of economics, because ultimately for a commerce student, both taxation, revenue, expenditure management, these are all financial jargons that is important, because ultimately if you want to pursue chartered accountancy, so day in day out you will be dealing with taxes, the source of revenue, the management of all these things. So right now, whatever given in your study material, try to first read that out. Whatever the recorded lectures that has been available in the knowledge portal, you can take help of that. If you have attended our live sessions, then definitely most of the concept what I'm talking about is already been discussed in detail. There's no doubt about that. And whatever the standard queries that has been there, or a query of all the students is addressed on priority basis. So that effort that we had already have done. So even though if you're facing some problem, don't get disheartened. Our study material is very simple. Now, ultimately, first, my suggestion will be to go through the content that has been given in the study material. Generally, in the examinations, the detailed explanation is not required, because this is not a subjective type of paper. So don't get frightened by the detailed explanations that has been there itself. If you know the concept, you can very much you just understand the concepts, because sometimes while detailing the particular concepts, literature is been given, but ultimately that is to make you more comfortable in that. But right now, preparation and finally your examination is there. So just focus on the concepts that is been there. Detailed explanations of the concept will not be asked. Only the clarity, if you are having of the concept, you can easily solve the questions in the examination. That is not a problem at all. And again, this budget making process, fiscal policy, these are all very interesting content that has been given. So don't worry, everything will be working well for you. Sometimes it happens that during the last lag of your preparation, one get a notion that I'm not knowing anything, everything is not working. But ultimately, when you end up landing at the examination hall, if you have put in sincere effort, so you will be remembering all this that you have studied. So ultimately, just tick at the particular right moment will help you in getting the right answer. So sources of money supply. Generally, the central bank of all countries are empowered to issue currencies, and therefore the central bank is the primary source of money supply in all the countries. Measurement of money supply, already I had talked about M1, M2, M3, M4. Here the classification. And this is important because generally these are the standard classification that has been given by RBI. And you have to remember that, because ultimately sometimes in particularly the numerical questions, the data will be one or two additional data will be given, and that is basically that data will not be used in the calculation of the particular aggregates, but you must be knowing that what to use and what not to use. So if you are calculating M1, then definitely the data that is given for currency and coins with the people, the demand deposits of bank, plus other deposits with RBI. All the data related to that will be added up. Now M2, if you have calculated M1 and you just add up the saving deposits with post office bank, savings banks, then you'll get the value of M2. Sometimes the value of M1 is there, is given. So you had to apply your mind that by adding saving deposits with post office saving bank, you can get the value of M2. So now M3 again is M1 plus net time deposit with the banking system. Here the distinction time deposit, because in the initial M2 you are saving deposit with the post office bank. Now here in M3 is time deposit with the banking system. Now again, if you have to calculate M4, that M3 plus total deposits with the post office savings organization. So remember this these classifications, and generally a few questions has been asked from this. So revise that. It's not very very tough, but yes, revision is equally important. Then monetary policy. Just I had told you that RBI used to regulate the money supply. So accordingly, every quarter they used to see the monetary aggregates and how, in what direction our decision is to be taken that money supply is maintained in the system. Now, the ultimately objective of monetary policy is price stability, economic growth, and ensuring adequate flow of credit and creation of efficient market. So there are the four objective of monetary policy. Cash reserve ratio, that is basically a fraction of total net demand and time liabilities of a scheduled commercial bank, which is to be maintained as cash with the Reserve Bank of India, irrespective of the size or the financial positions. Again, the interpretation is higher the cash reserve ratio, lower will be the liquidity in the market. So is again the statutory liquidity ratio. This scheduled commercial bank in India are required to maintain a stipulated percentage of the total time demand and time liabilities in cash, cold, or approved investment in securities. So these are the CRR, the SLR are all guided by the monetary policy, and from time to time RBI used to prescribe the limit for that. Recently, this monetary policy committee that was set up under the chairmanship of Governor of Reserve Bank of India. Two other members from Reserve Bank is there, and a few external experts from field of finance, economics, and allied areas are part of the monetary policy. And quarterly, they used to review that the monetary policy based on the different parameters, and accordingly they devise the different rates which is important for money supply. Then theory of international trade, Hexarolian theory is there, mercantilist theory of international trade is there, Ricardo comparative advantage theory is there. Then Hexarolian theory is there. I'm not going into the detail of the theories because that will take too much time, and I just right now is focusing on your examination tips that has been important. So the theories of international trade is already given in your study module. Then different forms of tariff, that is special tariff, ad valorem tariff, tariff, then anti-dumping duties, countervailing duties. These are terms that is there, which is important because generally situation will be there. Then you have to identify that which of this following duties or tariff is applicable in a particular case. So you revise them thoroughly. Already that has been discussed in detail in your classes. Then what are the different effects of tariff is because tariff barrier creates obstacle to trade, reduce the prospect of market access, make imported good more expensive, increase consumption of domestic goods, protect domestic industries, increase government revenue. So these are the different effects of imposition of tariff. Then again, regional trade agreements, GATE, General Agreement on Tariff and Trade, World Trade Organization. What are the major agreements that has been there, that has been given in your international trade chapter. So what are the different important guidelines? Exchange rates, then again, how international trade, the exchange rate has been determined. What is that? The floating exchange rate, what is fixed exchange rates? These are already given in your module, and you had to study that, because ultimately here question is generally been asked. There are different types of modes of FDI. What is the distinction between FDI and FAI? These are all important concepts. So mostly what has been there in your syllabus, I had tried to cover that, and only thing that has been important is all the units in your syllabus is important. All the units in your syllabus is important, and already the pattern of examinations, the types of questions, the weightage, the different contents, how to study, what is the different modes, what are the different way techniques that or terminology of the important concept one can design for his understanding. That is also memory techniques, that is important at the last point. Already I had discussed that all the formulas that has been given in your books, revise that formulas carefully. That is important. That is important. And again, one thing that is important is you have to design your strategy as per your strength. See, the PPT that I am just going through, or that is for information purpose only, is basically all the concepts is very much there in your study module. No need to worry about, just focus on what is been given in the module. Practice the MTP series that is first already been done. So you must be having that question. Second MTP series shortly will be commencing. But my advice to all of you is first complete your syllabus, then attempt the thing is attempt mock test series, because ultimately if you don't have studied the content, then again if you score low in the MTP series, that again you'll feel disheartened. So firstly, mostly the MTP questions are also from your the content that be material. So practice uh, is important, but first and the foremost thing is you have revised the concept thoroughly in detail. So mostly I think all the queries that has come across, and the people who have attended this MTP, this BoS for Success series, I hope they must have benefited from this session. So we'll be again conducting the second series in the last week of August. So there will be talking about again the areas which is generally student used to neglect, or they don't give that advantage to that, or some of the important areas which is as for a revisionary purpose will be deliberating on that. So till any queries from anybody? Yes, Kuna. Mostly the questions are of general type, although I had tried to give you deeper insight of the content of the business economics paper. So don't worry. 225 बैच स्टार्ट करने के लिए see 20 right now we are focusing on September 24 examinations. Again, gradually we'll be focusing on January 2025 attempts also. So first focus what is at hand, then think about the next step. Those who are preparing for January 25 attempts also, they only thing is they need to complete the syllabus in time, then only they'll be able to do better in the examinations. So till then, good luck and prepare well for your examinations. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
सर एग्जाम में कैलकुलेटर अलाउड है क्या इकोनॉमिक के पेपर में?
No. I think no.
Thank you, sir.
There'll be simple question, just addition, subtraction is there. There's no complicated questions will be there. So you'll be easily able to handle that. That is not an issue. Okay. So just prepare well and do well. That is the only advice that we can give you. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay.
Sir.
Thank you. Yes.
इसका इकोनॉमिक्स के लिए कोई अलग से क्वेश्चन बैंक भी है प्रैक्टिस के लिए?
प्रैक्टिस के लिए मॉक टेस्ट सीरीज है, इन मार्केट आल्सो देयर आर प्रैक्टिस सीरीज आर देयर. वी आर आल्सो हैविंग क्वेश्चन बैंक, हमारे पास प्रैक्टिस सेट्स है, वहां से क्वेश्चन आप प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो. बट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज जो स्टडी मटेरियल में दिया है उसको अच्छे से बार बार पढ़ो. आप अच्छा करोगे एग्जाम में.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू.